This is a sampler. This too is a sampler. And there's something about them that makes me scared. All right, story time. So I've played music all my life and I've been around computers all my life. And we had a PC at home. Before that, we had a BBC Micro. I'm that old. And I had a program called Cakewalk, and I used to program MIDI stuff in, didn't really know how to play. And I got a little daughter board for our sound card, which I could never access all the features on. I couldn't get beyond the general wavetable. I couldn't figure out all the MIDI codes and all that. But I liked recording sounds as well. I could layer one layer of audio with it, like these 16-bit PCM waves. I really enjoyed that. So I used to sample my mates and them, doing rude noises into microphones and put them into music. And I sampled some bird song off a tape and thought I was a genius. That was me as a teenager. In my late teens, a friend of mine gave me a copy of Rebirth, and I tried that. And obviously, don't pirate software. I was young and stupid and a criminal. But yeah, that blew my mind. And I guess I've been trying to get back to that kind of buzz of that sort of digital analog music. I wanted the real thing. I wanted to be able to put my hands on it. And, today I'm very thankful that I can. So I've made a lot of analog music. But I got this, my mate found this sampler at his work and it was unused and they were going to chuck it out and it was broken. He said, you can have it if you can fix it. So I fixed it, I got it going. Great, I can make little samples, I can do all sorts of stuff. It's not a computer, it doesn't feel like I'm at work, so I work in software. So I enjoyed it. But there is something about it that scares me. So in the late 90s, when I was playing in Vibration Whitefinger, we always wanted to have samples on stage because some of the bands were triggering like sounds from movies and things like that. I wrote this little Java program, a little applet, and put it in a computer, but we couldn't really get the computer on stage, great big desktop thing. So I had always wanted something like this. You press a button, and it wasn't so much about making beats and melodies, which is what most people use samplers for, but it was just like playing a movie clip. Get a clip from Withnail and I and play it over the speakers, and everyone's like, oh, I know that. And, it can add a lot of atmosphere to a track. It can be almost like a narration. But what scares me is the legality of it. And this is so me. This is like my kind of scrupulosity. Because day after day, I'm hearing like clips from podcasts, movies, TV shows, just walking down the street. And I'm thinking, right, that would sound great in a track. But then I'm thinking, well, what if the lawyers come for me? And I have no idea about the business of clearing samples. So this is like one of the main things I make music on now. It's the Polyend Tracker. My mate John sold it to me, and I have used this 2 or 3 times a week for the entire time I've had it. I can hardly put it down. I made a whole album on it. Mostly I'm sampling my gear, or I'm using the samples that, sample packs and things like that. And it's great, and I love it. But I would still like, this thing can record off the radio. You can get like on the FM radio and record some snippets and put them in your track. But I'm like, well, what if the lawyers come for me? So what it is that I would love to record clips. I would love to have like vocals and stuff. And sometimes I do. I sampled The Man with the Golden Arm because that's in public domain. So I should be safe with that, right? But the thing is, I've got such a low profile. I don't know really why I'm worrying about it, but it's not really about that. It's about doing the right thing and not going outside what's legal in sampling. But I don't understand it, and I'm not a lawyer. And I go, okay, ChatGPT, explain to me like I'm 5. Can I sample stuff? And it just makes me more confused. It's like, well, maybe you can. I'm like, oh, that's not helpful. So, yeah, if anyone out there can explain to an absolute idiot whether I can, sample from a film if I'm just doing it for the lulz and I'm not selling the music, if it's just like on my YouTube channel. Because, some people, they have clips of films and they're reviewing them. Is that fair use? And how does it, because I live in the UK, so am I doing something illegal in America that's legal in the UK or vice versa? I mean, it seems like an absolute minefield. But yeah, I would absolutely love to do some sampling in tracks of movie clips and play it back and just have that kind of narration, because I'm not really a singer. I can scream. But yeah, not really a singer. So that is why samplers scare me.
I've got a website. Remember those? gavd.co.uk.